Yeah. So how's your day been, Jake?
It's been great, man. I really, I'm really happy. I'm really happy to hang out with my son a little bit later. We've been watching all of Dragon Ball.
He's showing me that I cannot touch him. He's showing that I cannot touch him, chat. He's showing that I cannot touch him. He is trolling me right here. He is trolling.
The past 2 weeks of Sparking Zero have been very depressing, especially if you're a part of that Twitter community for Dragon Ball Sparking. I can honestly argue that Sparking Zero as a community might be 10 times worse than the worst days of League of Legends. Before I go any further in this video, I have to say this video is not necessarily just an attack at Bandai Namco or people involved. I'm just gonna state my opinion and my perspective on a lot of things. Another thing is, go watch Globku's video on Glob 2. He breaks it down pretty well and pretty strong and to like almost 100% the best way possible. Last disclaimer, I might forget something to talk about in this video when I'm doing it. I'm recording delayed, my mind is everywhere. I haven't uploaded in a lot of days because I am in such a mixed state with Sparking Zero right now. It's been too hard. Like nowadays, Twitter, ever since, not to be political, the election, Twitter has gotten worse and everybody's just been 10 times more negative. So let's talk about Dramatic Showdown. So let's go back to the France qualifier. So you're probably seeing everybody else on YouTube talk about it at this point, but you know, Shiria and Heliaster, they had the finals. And there was the Android 19, you know, Giro team where you can fly away and they don't lose because they have infinite key because they're androids. I've said this multiple times on this channel and I've said it on Twitter. I strongly believe you do not have to put fan service forced into the game mechanics. There's other ways via interactions, hack grabs, cutscenes, animations, but not make it to where it involves or destroys the game play or game mechanics. A lot of people was like, that's a bug. No, it was intended to be that way. See, the big thing about that is fan service stuff like that get overlooked or oversighted when you think it's just harmless or just generally fine for it. Things like Jump Force, where like Sanji can't hit woman, just switch to Boa Hancock, Kaguya, the fan-made villain of that game, or anybody else that's a lady, and he can't play the game. You just completely messing up the way the game is to be played. But yeah, to say the Android 19 flying up and down thing is an exploit is insane. The only logistical and logical counterplay to it currently that has been proven to work in tournament, by the way, has been picking them as well. People are saying all these different things like this has counterplay, you can do this, you can do X against it, and like, yeah, there's some things you can try to do. The best thing right now is using the Kamehameha and aiming at it vertically. However, because Kamehameha has been up or down vertically, it may or may not hit, and people try to do that and it doesn't work all the way all the time. All right, in this clip, for example, a lot of y'all haven't played in tournament before nor understand what's happening here, right? If they don't run out of key, a lot of y'all supposed counterplay don't work because you can just avoid it. You don't have to deal with it. Some people are like, use a Dragon Smash. Dragon Smash is gonna make them go into a Vanish War. If they don't lose key, you gonna lose the Vanish War unless the player is just garbage. Even with Super Counter, you can still vanish. Like, like what are y'all talking about? It's even more frustrating because y'all are coming at like Heliaster and Shiryu like there's counterplay to this. The people y'all fighting on ranked are not these players. These players have been winning other anime arena fighter tournaments as well. To be honest with you, these two niggas are the Sonic Fox of anime arena fighters in France. Which I also didn't talk about how he gets armor, at least Android 19, and then flies away. Like, it's hard to stop the man because even if you do hit him, it just bounces off like rain on a raincoat. Well, here comes the big question. Is it a problem with the developers or a problem with the game itself? To be honest, it all boils down to the game and developers to an extent. Apparently there is rumors that with Sparking Zero that the devs are just, they didn't want to ship this game out already, and I've already believed that this game was not supposed to come out till probably early next year. I think they just really wanted to just tie this shit in with Dragon Ball Daima because that was the big promotional anime and they wanted to push for that. When in reality, it doesn't make sense even from like a marketing thing, because it's like, we don't know nothing about Daima. We at episode, what, 8 or 9, maybe 10 at this point? And we just know Goku goes Super Saiyan and then like a villain in Glorio. Everybody else is just there, like for most people, right? Not saying that's the truth, but it's how people see it. On one hand, it's easy to just say it's the dev's fault because there was oversights in how the androids worked. They probably thought it was fine how like Android 9, 18 and 17, even 16 and stuff worked and things of that nature. And then this is when I say it is a problem on the publishers end, the higher ups at Bandai, because they could have gave us a demo in beta. I've said this back at Evo. I'm being honest with y'all. I could be head ass if I want to, but legit, I was right from the jump. From the beginning, I was cooking. The fact that we didn't have a demo or beta is so depressing. And I think the biggest thing of it is because they know how people attack games nowadays, and it probably costs a lot of money to put up a beta anyway on all the different platform servers or stores. This pisses me off because we could have figured out all this BS before the game came out and we would be in a whole different reality right now. And I'm so passionate about it, bruh, because like, Jesus Christ, we could be in one of the most peak timelines for the future of arena fighters, at least people having a competitive scene. We can't even get that now. Can't even get that shit. And then people want to use up the whole idea of like, yo, we're banning stuff mid-tournament. I don't agree with that personally, because like if they didn't find that out before the tournament, you can't get mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably just the esports thing that's probably normalized in other games outside the FGC, which is fine, but like I guess. But regardless of how the players play in tournament and Street Fighter and the most broken games of Marvel vs. Capcom, people are playing to win. There's people that want to do cool shit and prove themselves that way, but there's people that just generally love winning. And I think that's perfectly fine. That is why, like I said, when this game was coming out, people are huge and big babies within the anime game and Dragon Ball game space. A lot of them haven't played a real fighting game before. And the big thing about this game is that there's multiple generations of player bases currently for sparking. And regardless of however you may feel about how people are playing in the tournament, it's a double-edged sword on every side. On one hand, you want to 100% blame the players because you feel like, why are you doing this in the tournament? In the Friends tournament, they did do it to make a point. However, people need to see how busted this game is. I'm a firm believer of doing it on the place where people can see it. Rebellious or as is not, I don't agree with them being such petty and bogus and saying like, I won using the androids afterwards. Bandai knows now. They're 100% aware of the exploits or tactics in this game. Remember when I said Sparking Zero could be a competitive game? We throwing that away. I have zero faith in this game. The reason why I'm really making this video is because I keep seeing comments like somebody made a YouTube video about wanting this to be at Evo. And I'm not gonna lie, the comments when I first dropped the video was mad, like frustrating. That was probably the biggest pushback I've ever got on a video in my whole entire life. One, because it seemed like people didn't even watch the video. I've talked about the issues with sparking in the later half of the video, explaining like, hey man, we gotta make rules. I've literally pushed that concept before Dramatic Showdown, by the way. And a lot of people keep saying that. So I gotta defend myself here. Y'all don't be watching videos or y'all be taking stuff out of context too much. Also, y'all act like y'all can't just come talk to creators. Like y'all just hate on everybody, bro. Like if you ever seen a Reddit post about you, it is so crazy. Like, just come talk to me about it. We can have a conversation. I digress. People just weird nowadays. They act like YouTubers are not human. But yeah, in the video, I talked about like nerfing things. But then when it got to 19 and Jiro, they probably didn't think about how much power they had because of their kits and moves. Which I also didn't talk about how he gets armor, at least Android 19, and then flies away. Like, it's harder to stop the man because even if you do hit him, it just bounces off like rain on a raincoat. But then again, it all boils down to the publishers, the people that are giving these developers money. So it could be the higher ups at Bandai completely just because if this game wasn't rushed out, I strongly feel like this game would be in a way better state with probably like 3 to 4 more months of time into it. One of the biggest reasons why I can't stand sparking right now is the way people are treating people who want to play this competitively. And this is where I get so frustrated with this conversation, and it depresses me, which is why I stopped uploading. I'm probably gonna just do what I'm gonna do on sparking and move on with my day, because I can't do it no more. The community goes against what I like, and that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, it's very frustrating in that manner. Here's the honest truth. When a company says a game can't be competitive, that just means they don't want to do the work to have to constantly balance it and worry about it and all that extra shit. There are fan servicey fighting games that get balanced, that fix it for the community, that everybody can enjoy it at the end of the day. And then that is thrown out the window when they said that stuff, because how you gonna say we don't want a game to be competitive but then have a competitive tournament without looking into what makes the game look good or bad? That is why the point of making a competitive rule set, like I said in that video, is so damn important. You have to set rules and regulations before a tournament, especially when TNS, and they know about TNS, I know they know about TNS, when this first happened back a whole month and some change ago, they'll be like, these games not competitive, and then do something that's competitive and get mad when people do things to win in a competitive manner. So that's what happened with the androids. Now we gotta talk about GBG. Oh my lord. So GBG, I'm gonna be honest with you, GBG is probably one of the best players over there in his region as well. Regardless or not of the supposed exploit, it ain't really an exploit, it's an oversight, but we'll talk about that another day. In the tournament, GBG apparently had on some items on to make the matches better or something like that, but at the end of the day, GBG don't need it. He's proven that he's beaten a lot of those players on ranked multiple times. He doesn't need it. However, if Bandai made sure this stuff was on or off, or understand how the game worked in the tournament organizers knew how this worked, especially the people spectating and watching the matches, they would have been like, hey, take those out or you disqualified. They should have instantly saw like things that were changing, including health, values, things of that nature. Easily you could turn on, if you played sparking and fought most of the characters, at least like an hour of it or two, you should honestly know, hey, he might get items on. Hey, he's doing that too strong. This doing too much damage with capsules and stuff like that. I ain't got much else to say on that, but it's at the end of the day, I feel like he even asked one of the opponents, did he want a rematch with the stuff on and off? He didn't reply or nothing like that. Even if the other player did, it's whatever. Y'all just want him disqualified. That's a whole other thing that's pissing me off about the game. It's like, it's so much wrong with this game that it's just pretty. That's how I feel about it. It's just a pretty product. I had to come back 24 hours later for this one. Oh, hell no. So apparently in the Italy qualifiers, we had people from UK playing in the Italy qualifiers, and they won the tournament, I believe. I know there was one person in bracket that's not even supposed to be there playing in that tournament. Now, the idea of maybe traveling to play in that region, cool, but I think you have to be a resident, bro. That doesn't make sense. This whole tournament has to be the worst ran tournament in the history of fighting games. I can't even like, what's up guys here? I can't even do that type of shit for this game because I'm really just not enjoying it at this point. It was so fun discovering and helping people get better at the game, and I'm still planning on doing that with Sparking in the future. But right now, being a thing that I play on, I don't know. I have to figure out how to make this fun for me again. But as a fighting game fan first, over this game, as much as I love it, I can't do it. It hurts. It freaking hurts.